My name is Watti. I work for the Community-Based Environmental Monitoring Network. Dr. Kathy Conrad created that about just over 10 years ago. And we're going to talk about the potential of community-based monitoring that a lot of the organizations we partner with have. So the CBEMN was, I guess that was created about in 2004, so just over a decade ago. We aim to increase the capacity of stewardship organizations. So these are groups who are performing different types of community-based monitoring, data collection, mostly with water quality, across Atlantic Canada. And one of the ways that we do that is we provide equipment, other types of resources. We have an environmental equipment bank that organizations can borrow equipment for a few weeks at a time. It's a free service. It gives them access to equipment that costs thousands of dollars that they may not otherwise be able to afford in their yearly budgets. And we also facilitate networking amongst these organizations who so often work individually and not realize the potential that there is to work together collaboratively on projects and hurdles that they may be facing in a very similar manner. We recently completed our Cure-H2O research project. This was created because of the need for standardization across all these organizations. We had three main project deliverables. One was to provide training to these organizations. So this is a free online training course organizations can provide for their summer students or new staff, maybe board members who are concerned but maybe don't have the history or the background required for any kind of environmental monitoring. We also provide equipment to, we provided over 40 Wet Pro kits, which is the kit down here in the bottom. We collaborated with not only stewardship organizations, but also the government, provincial and federal, to create this kit on how, what equipment is needed, the basic, to collect water quality monitoring. And then the third thing that we had is that we wanted to create a space for organizations to put their data. A lot of organizations were collecting data. They have decades worth of data, but they were just keeping it in-house. They weren't sharing it with other people or using it to work with the government. So we created our water quality database, a streamlined database. Right now we have over 17,000 observations within our database. It was created in 2012. And we have over 1,100 locations across Canada where these observations are being collected. And there's over 50 organizations collecting data. So primarily they are from Atlantic Canada, but we're slowly working with other organizations across Canada to collaboratively work together. One of the really neat things is that through our projects we've invested $50,000 to create this database, but all this data, over 17,000 observations, is valued at over $3.5 million. That's using Environment Canada's volunteer calculator. So the amount of time it takes to collect the data, for the volunteers to do any kind of quality control assessments, and also then to upload the data. So there's a lot of data out there collected by community organizations. One of the projects we've been working on this past year has been just to know where their organization is located. So we've created this stewardship map. We've had other different attempts at this in the past, but we wanted to make something more fluid, where organizations are popping up all the time. We find out about organizations through word of mouth, different networking events. So we created a Google map where we can add in organizations as they come. We've mostly been working on the two coasts so far, but we've also been slowly making our way in towards central Canada. Right now we have over 500 organizations listed across Canada. These are all organizations who do different types of water monitoring or kind of water educational work or any kind of stewardship activities related to water. As you can see, there's really a large abundance in Atlantic Canada. I think this might be due to the fact that our watersheds are much smaller in size, so a lot of organizations, there can be more organizations to take on one watershed versus the Lake Winnipeg watershed, where that has so many other factors involved. This regional work has been leading up towards a lot of national work, so this is organizations who may have thought they were working alone. We are now bringing these organizations together. Last September was the third Living Waters Rally, which is a really great collaborative networking event for stewardship groups. There were over 120 people at the last one in Vancouver. I was also able to go. And it's a really great way to bring together like-minded people to see what other kind of issues are facing and also work towards like bigger goals. So one of those goals that at the second to last rally was created was they realized that there's like we all want the same thing. We all want good water in Canada, good healthy water. So let's try to take on that task. And they recognized that there are 4 different main pillars that organizations, like different people may have different expertise in. So this has been ongoing work. The organizations I work with mostly deal with the pooling water knowledge, but there's also 3 others pillars that are all collaborative working together. Through this, the Our Living Waters Network has been formed. This is more of a national scale of collaboration of organizations to come together and work towards this large goal. And I'm really proud of the fact that in Atlantic Canada, so far, the membership of this network, 30% of which come from Atlantic Canada. So there's been a lot of uptake and a lot of real interest from Atlantic Canadian organizations. And yeah, so there's a lot of great initiatives and movement happening from Atlantic Canada towards getting healthy water in Canada. And that's it.